Today we have the luxury of checking out something absurdly cool on this channel, digital night vision goggles. Yeah buddy, that's right. GOYOJO sent out the GNG2Ks for testing on the channel. They asked for absolutely nothing except my real opinions and just check them out, showcase them, and let them know what I think. And to be totally straight with you, I have extremely high hopes for these, being that this is not the first time this company's been featured so far on our channel. We recently checked out a night vision scope, which was absolutely crazy, and even cooler, a thermal scope. GOYOJO just keeps hooking it up, so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. When I tell you these things are absolutely packed full of technology and also have the capability to record video, this is literally every airsofter, content creator, hunter, and military enthusiast's wet dream. And if I'm being totally straight with you, it feels absolutely criminal throwing these on a $50 Amazon headset, but I still feel like this is a video you're just not gonna want to miss. Why don't we see what comes in the box? And just like that, we have every single item that we are to find in the box. We have a setting of 2 rechargeable batteries, the battery charger as well as a standard charger, 2 settings of mounting hardware with the screws for both, our brand new digital night vision goggle. This is the GOYOJO GNG2K, and the bracket is going to allow us to mount it onto the helmet. Don't forget the tool. Obviously, we're going to have a ton of these lying around on our own anyway, but it's nice that they send this in case you don't have it. And then you can't forget the loaded manual, which I'm going to need to take a look at. Now, prior to installing everything onto the night vision optic, I want to kind of just take a look at the scope itself and see everything that we get with it. We'll pop off the front cover. You can see to start off is your objective lens directly in the front. That is one clear, nice piece of glass, and look at the color on that. That's crazy. Surrounding that is your objective focus adjustment wheel, which can obviously adjust your focus to make sure that you're focused on sight and things aren't blurry. And just to the lower side of that, you'll see this small little ball here. This is an infrared illuminator. Basically what night vision scopes and night vision sights and night vision goggles, what they all do is they use an invisible flashlight that projects infrared illumination, and it doesn't allow you to necessarily see in the dark. Night vision just illuminates or accentuates small amounts of visible light that are already there, and it does that by illuminating the small amount of light so that your night vision can pick that up. Does that make sense? This flat plate here is your mounting interface. This is what we're going to use to mount it to the arm that's going to go on our headset or headgear. These 3 buttons are your first user interface. You have the zoom key on the left, which is going to allow us to increase the amount of zoom so we can obviously see things at a distance. From my understanding, this also functions as your up button on the interface on the inside of the computer screen. This is your IR key, and it also functions as your down button, which is going to function as moving the cursor down so we can adjust things on the computer system. And then this last button, obviously the universal sign for power, but also functions as our confirmation button. So we press this, it's kind of like pressing OK. Just like any scope or optic, the rear adjustment is your diopter adjustment ring. And all that does is, opposed to the objective focus wheel, which is going to adjust your focus on target, this is going to adjust your eye to the lens or the screen on the inside of your night vision goggles or your night vision goggles screen. Now you're probably wondering what this big rubber piece is. This is your eye cup, and all this does is block out any light pollution between your eye and the computer screen, so it folds out and just freeforms it closer to your face. Now in order to make everything work, we have to navigate to our battery compartment, and to open this we're going to pull this down, I believe, or yeah, down and then back, and this should open all the way. And you should see the position for our battery. Let's grab one of these guys and make sure that we put this in the correct direction. So, what way are we gonna go? Flat side of the spring, and then we should just be able to close that guy straight down, and that locks in place, nice and solid. Next to that, there's a small rubber panel. This is where you're going to be able to charge it, so you can actually recharge that battery while it's installed inside of the NVGs. You'll also see the USB-C port, so it's nice to see that we have some updated charging option, and it comes with an included SD card, which is really cool, because this should be able to record video too, which is nuts. And you can't see it now, but you see that small little black dot right there? That's just an indicator light, so you know when it's charged or when it's charging. Now this is where the fun begins, because I'm going to try and figure out how we mount all these things up. I would assume just based off of the shape of this plate here, this is how we're going to mount it up. Right? Yeah, we probably just have to mount it up like this. Well, that wouldn't make any sense. Why is that a different shape? That looks like it's supposed to sit here, but it's not. I guess we have to connect these 3 screws like this. It's kind of interesting. What I find really cool and really convenient is they do include an extra couple of screws in case for some reason you're like me and chances are you're probably going to drop them. I would definitely recommend, I'm going to do this after the video, is taking these back out, putting some Loctite glue on there, and then putting them back in just so obviously you can avoid anything backing out, because chances are you're going to be running around a lot and this will probably rattle a ton too. So you don't want those to start backing out. I think that's the correct way to put it on. Install this guy onto my, don't make fun of me, this is a $50 Amazon helmet that I picked up just for testing, because I plan on actually mounting this to a boonie, but I'm in the process of working on the design for that. So this is how it's going to have to be for now. We should just be able to snap this guy in place like that, and it actually sits in there pretty solid. It's just this button. It latches at the base. It's nice to see. And that should hold itself in place. This is going to be obviously our arm, and I'm going to want this to sit on the right eye. So we'll turn this around so it sits like that, I believe. I don't know, I'm getting a little lost here. I am so sorry. So we don't actually need this on here. This is the only mount bracket we're going to need. So I'm going to take these off really quick and then we'll mount it onto here. I think it's totally dependent on where you want to put it, but it should match up in the center there. And I'm assuming this bracket is designed to work with a majority of their different like night vision scopes and stuff. I think, sit this way? No, it's got to go this way. And I'm going to want it to sit, let's see, like that should be the direction. So I'm going to install it there, and make sure you use, they sent you 2 different types of screws. They should come in the same bag as this one, but make sure you use the longer of the 2 screws, because this bracket's plate is a little bit thicker than the other bracket's plate. Now I know with some nods they have like a memory system where like it can almost seem to like memorize the positioning that you're going to be placing this in on your face. This doesn't seem to have that, so it's going to be all based off of you just moving it to where you need it to be. So we'll make sure we loosen this to install it. So it's going to be a little bit harder. You just got to make sure that we line it up to our face, obviously. And the other thing that I noticed is you're not going to be able to like tilt this in and outwards. It has to be just up and down swiveling. So hopefully we can find a position that the eye wants to find the screen here, and then we'll just tighten that down. All right. I like how they have these big panels here, like it's like an elongated screw, so that's gonna be really easy to like grab a hold of. Make sure that tightens down all the way. So you got a bunch of different screws here. You have one that focuses on this axis of rotation, one that focuses on this axis of rotation, and then the other one just crimps down on the NVGs. So that's cool. And if you get it like relatively tight, you can still move it, which is cool, and it will stay in place, like out of sight, out of mind. So I got the goggles mounted up, set up, and they're looking pretty solid. And granted, the helmet's not the best kind of helmet for this. It's a $50 Amazon helmet, but I gotta say, it's kind of holding on nice, and it's not wobbling around a ton. So I'm gonna try and kind of figure everything out here. It will pop up on the screen when I start recording, if I can figure out how. Oh, whoa. Okay. Let me figure out how to start recording. Hold on. I think I figured it out. Figure it out? I think I figured it out. Okay, so you should now be seeing everything that I'm seeing while recording. You can see the foam, but you can't really see a whole lot aside from that. My hands are kind of blurry because they're out of focus right now, but everything in the distance is in focus, and I can see the screen just clear and just fine. Now, a couple things that I was kind of just looking at when I first was messing around with the images is if you press the center button here, it'll change the color to something like this. Is more authentic night vision to me, especially when you're looking at something that's not digital night vision. It goes to like a white. This is like a dull, and it goes to more like a bluish white, if that makes sense. I think, honestly, I'm going to leave it on that color because it just feels a little bit more authentic to me. I really like that. Now, there's a couple different settings on here as well that I know we can mess around with, like the zoom setting. So if you look and I press that front button here, we should be able to zoom in. Yeah, it drops the zoom in a ton. Zooms in again. Side picture is super clear. Obviously, we're going to test this out at night. I just want to learn it before we go mess around in the dark, because that would just make this really, really difficult. It zooms in a ton. I think there's 4 different zoom modes. Cool, and I don't know if you could see it, but it does also show you the direction you're looking. Directly on the top of the screen, it says like north, south, east, and west. And it'll show you direction by degrees as well. Like right now I'm south 168 degrees, which is cool in case you got to use it for navigational purposes or like just general spotting purposes. So at this very moment, I'm inside the menu on the screen on the inside of the NVGs. You won't be able to see it. I don't know why it won't allow me to open the menu and mess around with it while it's recording, so you're just going to have to trust me on this. I'll maybe try and get a video of me doing it again in just a second. But you press and hold the little zoom key for 2 seconds and the menu will pop up. And then you can navigate through the arrows. It's got a bunch of different settings and different color settings as well. You get the version, default settings, format, the gyroscope on the inside. I could adjust the language, auto power on and off, date and time, the brightness of the screen. Picture. There's a ton of different adjustments that we can make to this thing, which are really, really cool. So this is like the last test that I kind of want to do really quick before we wind up switching it off to when it gets night. This is kind of the last test that I want to do before it gets dark out, just because obviously they're night vision and we're messing around during the day. But I just want to see what it looks like through firing, because why not? We'll get our recording on, and we're just going to make sure that we are focused, and then we'll see what it looks like down the sights. Oh, that's a little weird. I don't even know what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to use them on the opposing side of the sight or the non-opposing side? There we go. Oh, that's so weird. You can kind of pick up the BBs on the night vision. It's kind of hard to see them. I feel like that'll be a lot better at nighttime when I'm using the like a tracer or something. Yeah, I don't know. You might be yelling at me right now. I really don't know if you're supposed to be using the NVGs to look down sight or if you're supposed to use them on the opposing side, but let's wait till it gets dark out. All right, so I don't know if you could see, but it is absolutely pitch black outside. I'm going to keep you guys behind me for a second just because I want to make sure that I don't get any light pollution from any of the lights, especially from the phone, when I do turn this on. We're just going to go ahead and turn on the NVGs. And with them on, I'm going to turn on the recording. Make sure that we are locked in and ready to go. And I'm actually going to take you guys off of the phone now, and I'm going to completely illuminate the entire picture with just what I see off of the NVGs. Now you can't see it, but I do have the PP2K in my hand. And we're set on semi. And I also have a tracer unit lit up and ready to go, so you can now see any of the tracer BBs we'll be firing. Oh my god, that is crazy. You could see if we need to zoom in, get a deeper picture, we can zoom in further. No problem at all. That is absolutely ridiculous. We have full vision. Bang. baby. We got NVGs. Let's go. Okay, back inside where we have some light. Obviously, I can't finish this episode out in the sunlight, so we have to do this inside just because it's pitch black out, and I wanted to test these in real time with you during the night vision. You saw it firsthand, these things work. Digital night vision is so cool. And really nice, too, they don't blind you when it's light out. They still work if you needed to as like a recording system, which is even cooler. The one downside is obviously anything that's like really close to you, you're going to have to get used to just like feeling it, because obviously the focus is for whatever's at a distance from you initially. If you wanted to, you can focus it for something that's closer, but then you're gonna have to refocus it at a distance again. So if you're in like a safe position, sure, it might be a good idea if you had like two of these, because they actually do offer the ability to use two and mount both of them. And if you were to do that, then chances are, I mean, maybe you could set one for close range stuff and one for further range stuff, but that is so cool. Again, these are the GNG2Ks from GOYOJO. I just want to say thank you for sending these out. These are absolutely awesome. And I went to my first Milsim event with American Milsim a little while back, and I realized quickly that I was at an insane disadvantage without night vision, because there were so many people who had it, and I couldn't see a single thing out in the woods and even some of the buildings. And these specifically are now going to be a game changer for me. And it's even cooler too that I can pack a ton of different batteries if I need. Awesome. Incredible. And the tracer BBs too just look nuts. I can't even imagine what it would look like with a bunch of people just firing tracer BBs all over the place, and then them just hitting walls and cracking and sparking and just flying all over. It just, wow. I got nods now. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you in the next adventure. Peace.